All right, today we're going to talk about ordered and unordered lists. So you have lists that can be ordered, and that would be when the order is important. So you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, D, E. And you have an ordered list when the order is important. So you might give directions on something. Let's see. You say 1 period, and I want you to watch up here in the ruler what happens. So I've got 1 period, and then I press space. And when I do you see how the indents changed? And we also have an autocorrect because it realizes that I'm making an ordered list. And so it's going to autocorrect it for me. So I have first, I need to do this. And then if I press enter, the number already gets entered in there for you. Next, you need to do something else. And then enter. And so when I have these ordered lists, the items are going to start making a list. All right, so this thing wants a comma there, so I'm going to put a comma there. So when I highlight this text, please realize that now these numbered items are Microsoft Word formatted things. I can't edit these. I can't change these anymore. And realize that if I change my text and I make it bigger, you see how it doesn't line up anymore? So if you ever needed to make your text bigger, or if you needed to have more than a 2-digit numbering system, you see how it's not going to line up. So I'm going to have to adjust my indent, and I would have to adjust that hanging indent in just a little bit. Now, I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to back up twice to where I had smaller text. You're not going to have that problem. So when you have an ordered list, it's when order is important. You can come up here and you can choose what kind of numbering system you want. You can click and switch. They have a whole bunch of default ones. You see how I have Roman numerals now. If I decide I wanted to change the indent of these, I can press tab, and now I start getting an outline. Okay, so you can have an outline of some things. I'm going to undo that. So there's all kinds of different numbering systems that you can have, and you can even go down here and set your own numbering value if you want. I'm going to go here and I'm going to turn off numbering, so now I don't even have them numbered at all. Now, imagine that you have an unordered list. That would be like if you had a grocery list. So now I have a grocery list, and it's going to be an unordered list because I don't have to buy carrots first and then peas and then cheese. I can go to the store and buy it any way I want. So I'm going to highlight all this text, because what's the first step in changing formatting? And then I'm going to come up here where I have bullets, and I can click and make it a bulleted list. Now, notice that I also have the indents have changed in this. The most important thing in both of these is that your columns always line up. So if you have more than one ordered list or more than one bulleted list, you need to make sure that they're always lining up with each other. So if it moved in on you, you can click and move them back out. Notice that when you move the left indent, the first line indent also moves. Unit 2 is where you learned about indents, so you can go back and look at your pictures. So I have bulleted lists, but I can also go and customize these if it asks you to. And you can click here, and you have some of these things that are in here, but I can also go down here to define new bullet. And at this point, I can choose different symbols and different fonts. I'm going to go here to change the font. And this is when you will choose a dingbat font now. Just for time's sake, I'm going to go and choose Wingdings because I know that that's a font here, and I can choose Wingdings. And I'll go ahead and click OK. And now when I click on the symbol, I can choose which symbol it is that I want. So I can say, well, let's see, I want these arrows, and click here. And now I have arrows as fonts. And again, you can choose just about any one you want. Let's try, I know Ballet is a font that has Wingding fonts. I'll go ahead and click OK and then choose symbols. And maybe I'll choose this lovely arabesque and click OK. And you see they're very tiny, but they're there. And you can choose just about any font you want. So again, ordered lists are when order is important, and unordered lists are when order is not important.